Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today we're gonna talk about the myths and legends and historical facts that inspired the lore of Kislev. We will see Baba Yaga, the winged lancers, and the mysterious bear that helped in the Second World War. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my video, and let's begin. Let's start with the Kossars of Kislev, that they take inspiration from the Cossacks. The Cossacks are actually existed population between the southern Russia and the eastern Ukraine. They were kinda half semi-independent tribes that they were under the control of the East Europe states, but they were getting a little of self-government in exchange of military helps. That's why they came from a Turkish word that means both free man and also conqueror. So, in short, they were like hired by the state to expand their territory. So they were soldiers, but at the same time they were part of an independent civilization, an independent tribe. They were Orthodoxy Christian, and now you can feel the link with the great Orthodoxy of Constantine. And they were also riding not only horses but even war wagons. And you can see the same in the Kislev lore with the bear war wagons. So that's very cool. The Incredible Assembly, when they made Kislev, they've been very accurate with the actual Cossacks that existed. They were disbanded after the Second World War, but they are believed to still be between us, and 3 millions or 5 millions of people they still feel associated to this culture. For me, this is very cool because they were actually, people from the land that were living there. They were not actually soldier, but they were still fighting, and maybe not for the motherland, more for money. But yeah, they were fighting actually for their independency. Okay, so if you want to be independent, you have to battle, you have to fight for protect this land. And yeah, for me this is very accurate and cool. Now let's move forward to Mother Ostankya, that took inspiration from the character of Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga can come from the Slavic folklore and is supposed to be this old woman, because Baba means in many Slavic languages grandmother or old lady, with a little pejorative way. And Yaga, it's something that there is some controversy about its origin, but the thing it means something in a very old language, that it's like horror, pain and worry and things like that. So in any case, linked to some negative words, negative concepts. This was in some fairy tales, in some tales, a woman, and in other part one of three women that they were all carrying the same name. And she was linked to the forest wildlife. She was kind of the protector of that, with this double nature of a very bad old woman that was eating children, and the old woman that was helping people that were going through the forest. About her, we can say loadout, she was flying around a wooden mortar, so quite similar to the chariot of Mother Ostankya, and she was living in a hut with chicken legs. She was just living there. It was not her, we can say, war mount like many of us thought about at the release of Shadows of Change. So yeah, it was just her house, and she was moving around the forest with that. But yeah, she had this pestle that was both a weapon in many tales, but also she was using this pestle to cook her things, and probably the thing that she's flying around a wooden mortar is linked to that. I mean, she was using this wooden mortar to fly and also to cook her things. The first reference of her, it's from the 1755, so it's not such an old character, and it was linked to many pagan rituals. For many, she was the ultimate institutionalization of the fear of the nature, of the double nature of the forest, that can be helpful to, I don't know, to hide, but at the same time can be scaring and terrified, and you should not get lost. So very controversial character, and I really like how creative assembly actually, except the chicken leg thing, was very accurate to depict her. Now let's talk about the winged lancers, also called in the history the Polish Hussar or the winged Hussar. Basically they were this elite heavy cavalry, shock cavalry for real, so very accurate with the winged lancers of the game, and they were taken from the nobility of Poland. They've been recruited in the Poland and Lithuania Commonwealth between the 1503 and 1703, and at the end, basically in the 1766, they got disbanded and they were used only for ceremony purposes. Now, they were they were the first heavy cav in that period, because the rest of them were also the Hussars, but they had very light cavs. I mean, they were not that armored. This was more like the winged lancers were more noble men that they wanted to go to war, but full of armor, a lot of protection, and yeah, with these rear wings, that it's their main feature, that were made by feathers of raptor, and there was this angel-like frame that was attached to the armor and the saddle, and their purpose was to demoralize the leadership of the enemy. And I mean, it's accurate because in the game they actually cause terror, and I mean also with the charge and everything. They were, as I say, they were dressed in a very flashy way, because they were noble, so they has all this plated body armor, some gold ornaments, these lobster pot-tailed helmets, and they had the skin color. This is different from Kislev, but they had these skin colors in their a color scheme in their armor that was red and white, and they can have a very varied set of weaponry, like not only lances and spears, but also hammers and pistols. A very cool thing about that is that during the siege of Vienna, they've been part of the largest charge of history against Ottomans. So for real, in the history, the biggest charge ever made by cavalry in terms of number were led by the winged lancers. Now, if I tell you that during the Second World War, a bear was actually recruited as a soldier and even promoted, would you believe me? Because it actually happened. We're talking about Wojtek, a Syrian brown bear that was found by some people in the mountains of Iran. His mother was probably shot by hunters, and these people decided to sell him in this market, and some Polish soldiers decided to buy him and adopt him. Now, they brought him with them as a mascot, we can say. They were having fun wrestling with him, and they were giving him cigarettes to smoke, beer to drink, and I mean many weird stuff like that. He got kinda a celebrity. He was taught to salute when greeted, so yeah, it became a soldier, and this bear was imitating everything that he was seeing, and that's, I mean, it's very funny. But at the end they say, you cannot bring this bear with you, because you need money to provide things to him. So what they said was okay, so he will be recruited as a soldier, so we can have his paycheck, and with that money we can provide him a tent, a place to sleep, and food to eat. Then basically there was this very important battle called the Battle of Monte Cassino in Italy, and the ammunition supply department of the artillery needed to carry this very heavy ammunition, but big bunches of ammunition from one side to the other, and this bear was essential to win the battle, because he brought the ammunition that only 4 men could do it, and yeah, he was using his potential to help the military forces. At the end he was promoted. He was so important in this battle that he got promoted to corporal, and I mean this is crazy, more the horse senator of Caligula. And yeah, very very funny, and he became this celebrity till they got disbanded and given to the zoo of Edinburgh in Scotland. That I mean I think that the funniest part about that is that one of the main proofs that we got about this bear is that one soldier, I think, of the enemy at some point just you know, had a look and saw this bear carrying ammunition, and it was like, you know, going to his comrades and say, you know, what's happening here? There is a bear bringing ammunition to their you know, to the other side of the battle. So what's happening here? I mean, this is crazy. And yeah, I really would have liked to be there and witness that. Let's move as the end to the Leshy, the incarnate elemental of beast. Now we all know that the Leshy is part of the Slavic culture, and probably like Baba Yaga, he has this double nature. Many people say that he's the warden of the wildlife, of the forest, a ruler of the lesser spirits, but at the same time for many is this malevolent deity that misguided wanderers and abducted young peoples. Many people think that this was linked to the way you interact with the nature and with the wildlife, so, or with in your life overall. So if you are basically a bad guy that treats the nature very very bad, it doesn't respect it, this big giant omen will be bad with you, will be a malevolent spirit that will yeah, kidnap you forever. Or if you are treating the nature well, you are good to the wildlife and everything, this would be just the protector of that, and he will let you pass. Now about his depiction, he's not necessarily I mean, this big omen with the horns and the skull face. Many people say that it was basically the changeling of Zinch, because he was a shapeshifter that could you know, act in disguise, and he had this ability to turn into humans themselves as well. So he could just pretend to be a human, even with the sides. So yeah, kinda between the changeling and the actual incarnate elemental of beast. But yes, it was also this big omen that could destroy everything and move around the forest and scare everyone. So yeah, very very cool. Honestly, I think that Kislev is one of the best lore of this game, even if it's kinda new. But yeah, I enjoy a lot, and tell me if you like this kind of videos so I can decide if making more like that, and see you very very soon.